Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tony Hardy. It's episode 8. I'm building Otoh Gunga in Lego. It's 8:42 p.m. August 4th, 2026. I don't even remember when I posted the last update and the update before that. So it's like not procrastination because it's like I have everything I need. It's just the execution. You know, when you get off of work, you don't want to do anything, so you don't do anything. And that's okay. You know, because the next day you're like, oh, I'm gonna build Otoh Gunga, and you just keep on doing that, and like, oh wait, a month has gone by. Oh well, okay. That's when deadlines are like. I never set a deadline for this mock. I was thinking before I'm 27, maybe get some of it done or all of it, and I could still set that November 18th deadline, which is funny because GTA 6 is on November 19th. I'm not a huge GTA fan, but it's one of the most revolutionary franchises of all time, which is going to change the world for the better or worse. We don't know. A lot of people are going to call out of work and just, not participate in reality. And so they're going to dive into that fake world while the real world will suffer from them not being there. It's good to have a stable, awesome job that you always go to day after day. That way you can get your money, you get your pride, you get everything you ever want. And then you go home and build whatever you want. That's where I get a lot of my Legos from work. Very fortunate to have that in my back pocket. Also, one thing, I worked on this really cool K2SO. Has nothing to do with Otoh Gunga, but I'll put a little time lapse of me building it. You guys probably don't care because you can just watch it on any other YouTuber channel. And one of the most badass looking physiques from a robot statuette you can get. I had to pause it because my dog Chloe is just every time she walks because she's getting pretty old, and my neighbor starts her car, and so it's like I'll post a video, but when I'm recording the video, I gotta pause it because someone walks in. There's always things happening, and it's like, God, just give me like 5 minutes of like, can I just talk without interruptions? But maybe it's meant to be like this. There's always interruptions in life, and there's no rhyme or reason. And so I'm kind of blabbering, but I think that's the point of life, is just to say what you feel in the moment. So behind this camera, it is one of the great base plates. It's gonna be the general gist of it. It's a 5x4, so it's gonna be 20 gray base plates. It's gonna have multiple levels. The very bottom is gonna be Otoh Gunga, which is gonna be the Twilight like dead zone area. That's gonna be fully. I wish it was like pitch black, but you gotta have some light and got the contrast light or the dark to the light, that kind of feeling. And so there's gonna be like Otoh Gunga dead zone area where the city's gonna reside, and then you're gonna go up to like the coral reef area where it's more warm, tropical fish. There's a lot more openness, a lot more like rock structures and ventilation shafts from like volcanic, not the eruptions. There's gonna be a few of these cool designs I came up with. This is a separatist dredging machine, and so I'll go into this detail later on in this video. I also have the full plan for the base plate I work on this episode. I'm gonna post whenever I want, however long I want, because that's life. I don't do this for you guys. I do this for me. I'm selfish like that, and my selfishness provides actual information about the very importantness of nature, keeping the waters clear, the sky clear. Unfortunately, there's fires, at least where I reside. But hopefully this fire will be smothered out soon. But it's very ashy outside. I was building 1313 when it was firing outside too, which at first it was like really beautiful. But then I'm like, beautiful. But then I'm like, oh wait, the act of why it was beautiful wasn't because it was a good thing. It was because tens of thousands of acres were on fire. It's pretty upsetting. But That's all I wanted to get off my chest. Have a great day, and watch the rest of the video if you want. I don't care. See ya. This is the first of many Otoh Gunga deep sea trenches that will be amazing. I don't know, the only way I know how to build is literally blocking it out. You get whatever 2x2 bricks you got, you obtained over the millennia of collecting little blocks. And then you get some Duplo, since it's 4 times bigger than a regular block. You just kind of extend that to whatever height you want. Of course you can, well, I'm going to adjust whatever. This is all just sitting here. It just, literally a blocking out. I drew out a pretty cool sketch of like this first base plate where it's gonna be a really cool like little mountain range down here. This is where the skeleton for the Leviathan creature I called Claude. He's gonna be like right here, and then maybe like a little mouth to a cave right here, and different areas that fish can really like go into the cave and kind of like hibernate. Like, do they have a permanent location where they like, oh, this is my swimming spot where I'm going to swim, or do they just constantly go around? Like, I don't know a lot about fish. Okay, so this is where it's going to branch off, and then more little cliffs, more cliffs and more cliffs. So you can imagine like this whole area is all cliffed up, and this is gonna be like the Twilight Zone, deep dead zone part of the mock. So it's gonna be very dead. There's not gonna be a lot of fish. There's not gonna be a lot of creatures. That's why everything's gonna be all decayed, and the things that will be down here will be mostly like the bottom feeder dwellers. Yeah, but generally, I'm like, I don't really know exactly what anything. I know what I want in this mock, but I don't know what colors, what like techniques I'm gonna use, how I'm gonna get to that point. But that's the fun of it, is to try something new, try something different. I haven't seen someone do a good version of Otoh Gunga. You guys don't know how much I've been like planning beyond like imagination. Like, I'll just be at work and imagining what this will look like. So I'm like, okay, I could already see where things are gonna be placed. You know, you guys have imaginations because you're following me. So the big old creature Claude right here, the head's right here. Hopefully I'll make the creature so it's like the skull, and then it'll be like the photo right there, like the rib cage. It's gonna be like right there, and that way it'll look like it had died like eons ago, and then there's a bunch of dirt, like sediment, like constantly poop falling on top of Claude, stuff like that. And then over here we're gonna have like a really cool clone-based entrance where these big gears are gonna turn, and you're gonna see the mechanisms all rotate. And right here off to the right, that's why I said there's gonna be these 3 tubes protruding out right here, and then it's really hard to tell, but like right there, that's where these really cool vertical windows for the clone base will reside. You can go all the way up, that way you can see perfectly in. And then over up here, that's gonna be like the coral reef area where it's not as treacherous and scary, and it's less death up here. I mean, there's gonna be a work battle going on, so there's gonna be a lot of death, but naturally, not a lot of death. And here's just a little rundown. You got some bay doors, skeleton creature, drain pipes, mines, coral reef, vertical windows, Gungan City, connecting pipes, trenches, defense turrets, huge chains, and a dredging machine. So the defense turrets are gonna look a little dangerous. So imagine that above the water, but then you just kind of like, oh my god, down here is death. So this is based off a real design. So apparently underwater, I don't know why, but there's this machine that lasers salmon, but for the little parasites that float on the side of salmon, it like uses AI somehow to just detect those little creatures, and only kills that creature on the salmon. That way the salmon lives and the other thing dies. So I really got this inspiration from that design. And on top of that, I want to put a bunch of spikes because spikes are cool, and usually during wartime, you gotta throw something together really fast. So this is the dredging machine I came up with. I wanted to utilize these General Grievous wheel pieces. So it's gonna reside on the side of this droid. So specifically with this dredging machine, the purpose is to destroy Otoh Gunga. So usually dredging machines transfer sand from one location to another. So this main function is going to be only destroying Otoh Gunga. It's going to deploy these really cool chains that's going to rotate, clockwise. That way it lowers and raises these big chain and little ball and chains at the very bottom. And there's going to be turrets on every single side. That way it can destroy anything on this side, that side, and below. And biggest inspiration came from the Vulture droid, the 2 big red vertical eyes, the General Grievous wheel bike for the side, and the Oblivion drone. So in Oblivion, the movie with Tom Cruise, there's these big spherical drones that kind of float around. And so have a great day. Have a great life. See you guys next time.